DaBaby is making headlines again, this time for dragging Beyoncé and Jay-Z into the ongoing storm surrounding Diddy. According to DaBaby, he witnessed something wild at Diddy's mansion involving both Beyoncé and Jay-Z, and what he saw made them flee the scene. He claims they willingly showed up for what he calls a freak-off, but weren't fully prepared for what Diddy had in store. At first, people assumed it was just Jay-Z entangled in the mess, but DaBaby says Beyoncé was deep in it too and has allegedly been down for that kind of scene for a while. Few expected DaBaby to come out swinging like this, especially against Beyoncé. But now, fans are giving her the side-eye, wondering how much she really knew and why she never tried to stop Diddy. The rumors started swirling after a clip from DaBaby's interview with Shannon Sharpe went viral right around the same time Diddy was hit with RICO charges. Naturally, the internet exploded with speculation, and after hearing what DaBaby claimed, it's not hard to see why. According to him, Diddy invited him to his mansion for a business meeting. But when he arrived, he was surprised to see both Beyoncé and Jay-Z already there. The real shock came moments later. Diddy allegedly cleared the room, leaving only DaBaby, Beyoncé, and Jay-Z. Then, DaBaby says Beyoncé personally walked up to him, got unusually touchy, and introduced herself in a way that felt off. He already knew who she was, so why the awkward gesture? That's when he started sensing something strange.
Beyoncé, I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people, he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Mm-hmm. Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyoncé being, you know, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in
right.
at the moment, you know. And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to.
Right.
Beyoncé, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop de whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man. That was dope.
Around the same time this story broke, high-profile attorney Ariel Mitchell stirred the pot even more. In an interview, she revealed someone reached out to her about selling a freak-off video featuring Diddy and another massive celebrity. She says she watched the tape herself, and the other person in the video is reportedly even more famous than Diddy.
Also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow, can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No,
this
I can't explain who the person was, but
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video is pornographic in nature.
Oh my, all right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, Diddy. And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping, like they're being surreptitiously recorded it.
Mm-hmm.
That revelation sent the internet into a frenzy, with many speculating the celebrity in question was Beyoncé. The timing of DaBaby's story only fueled the fire. And then came Jaguar Wright, confirming what many already suspected: the meeting DaBaby described wasn't just a coincidence, it was a freak-off. Wright also slammed Shannon Sharpe for allegedly protecting Jay-Z and Beyoncé due to his connections with them and the NFL. According to her, that's why DaBaby held back from naming the gathering for what it really was.
What he is a broke-down Mandingo fighter still working on behalf of the NFL. That's what he is. Period. You want to know what else I also find funny? That he did that interview with that DaBaby person who sat there and told him about when he met Beyonce. Y'all remember that? That happened on Shay Shay. And he talked about how he was at the Diddy party at Diddy's house. And how after, the festivities were winding down and it was getting later into the middle of the night, approaching 3 a.m., Diddy got rid of almost everybody, but he let DaBaby stay behind with him and his close friends. And then he talked about how Beyonce was there and Jay-Z was there. Not at their house, at Diddy's house. And how Beyonce presented herself to him, and she didn't have to do that because he knew who she was and he couldn't believe she was talking to him. But she approached him, kind of like how she approached that old friend of his when he said that he was at the party and the little people was there, and she asked him, "Isn't this sexy?" My. How illuminating. There's been a lot of freaking off going on for a long time. Why does everybody keep... Let me tell you this. Beyonce, Giselle Knowles Carter. It does not matter how much money they spend, how many people, those tickets ain't gonna sell. You're caught. I wish you had the common sense that animals do when they're caught. They just surrender. But no, y'all gonna fight it to the very end. Y'all gonna bring this broke down old NFL bum who apparently will do anything with his genitals to help cover or create validity where there is none with the weirdos. With his little orange purse. Screwing people's kids. Screwing kids young enough to be his grandchildren. Shame on you. You a dirty old man. Period.
DaBaby's interview gave new life to long-standing rumors about Beyoncé and Jay-Z's ties to Diddy's darker dealings. Some even speculated that Jay-Z was offering Beyoncé to Diddy for these private gatherings and allegedly kept her under the influence to maintain control. According to one source, Beyoncé's been on drugs. She's been on them for a long time and he keeps her that way.
But I'll say, man, Beyonce's on drugs. She's been on them for a long time. And you keep her that way.
And the more drugs he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her in a character.
No, girl. Not my beautiful Beyonce 5.
I tell you this right now. Y'all talking about free Britney. Y'all need to be doing a campaign that say free Beyonce.
The Beyonce is free.
She is a prisoner in a gilded cage.
Fueling the speculation even more was a now viral video showing Beyoncé looking completely zoned out at a basketball game with Jay-Z. Her eyes drooped, her head swayed slowly side to side, she could barely stay awake. Her PR team scrambled to spin it, blaming exhaustion from rehearsals, but fans weren't buying it then. In a shocking twist, Beyoncé's former assistant spoke out. The assistant told Media Takeout that Jay-Z had a habit of putting his hands on Beyoncé. Even in public, I've never seen him flat out strike her, they said, but I've seen him shove and push her, and it always made her visibly uncomfortable. According to them, Jay treats Beyoncé more like property than a partner. Gossip YouTuber Storm Monroe added fuel to the fire, claiming Beyoncé's recent rush of business ventures from Ivy Park to Cowboy Carter to a perfume line was a financial move. She's allegedly trying to stack cash in case the Diddy scandal tanks her career.
The reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. Y'all might have to ask Jason Lee. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyonce divorce him. Okay? And she may or may not do an interview, but you're gonna their publicist is gonna release something. She's gonna say, oh, the Carters have been separated for some time. They built this beautiful life, blah, 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 blah. Now, before all this happens, we may get another tour. We may get another album out of both of them. I don't know, because at the end of the day, they about their money first. They're gonna do what's best for business first. As far as Beyonce is concerned, do she love him? I mean, he's really all that she knows.
A source close to Beyonce reportedly backed up the story in a blind item, saying industry insiders have been whispering about this for a while. The source also claimed her bodyguard chased her down at a recent award show because Beyonce has been threatening to flee the country. They say she's exhausted from being micromanaged by her team, her mother, and her husband. She's been battling depression, allegedly has suicidal thoughts, and her handlers are terrified she'll disappear without warning. But they're not worried about her mental health, they're scared of losing their most profitable asset. Fans chimed in with their own theories. One person wrote, Jay-Z and Beyonce waited too long to make moves. Now they're out of money and can't get a loan. Another added, did you see the hand sign Beyonce made recently? If they're involved in the sick stuff people are saying, especially involving minors or animals, they should all be in jail. So what do you think? Is DaBaby telling the truth or just clout chasing in the middle of Diddy's downfall? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to check out our next video for more messy updates.